Imagine this scene. I want to paint a scene for you. It is 6 a.m. In the morning, a Monday morning. A Manhattan-sized skyscraper is standing in front of it. The cranes are swinging the steel up in the air, and hard hats, people walking around, just like the baby's day out scene, So this scene pretty much sums up the talk what we want to present today, powering construction analytics through delta sharing. An architect in the very same building can pull up the tablet and look at the job metrics, what's going on this construction site, as well as the owner or an executive who's like thousands of miles away gets the same output. So when we are here to show how delta sharing turns this scattered, chaotic job site data into a single trusted language where architects or executives or owner can rely on. So when data flows this securely and freely, this doesn't look like a hard labor anymore. But let's go how we make this leap from a site to the insight. My name is Vinod Tyagarajan. I have here with me Vishnu Srinivasan. We are both data engineers at Procore. So this is the session. So introduction, like who we are, what do we do, what is our goal, what do we do in construction, and then we just move on to explain the commitment what we have made to construction intelligence, and then getting into the actual core of the presentation, delta sharing. What is delta sharing? Why do you have to care about it? What was the world before delta sharing and what it has come into? And then Vishnu steps in and will explain how we implemented that within Procore, and then we'll go on to a place where what you have to keep in mind when designing systems around this delta sharing, and then we'll get into the customer success story. Usually, this is a prominent slide in any presentation, but we have our customer itself in the room. So I think he'll come up and share a story here. So who are we? Procore is a leading global provider of the construction management software. It's a cloud-based platform that connects project stakeholders like architects, general contractors, owners, specialty contractors on a single platform. Our vision is to improve the lives of everyone in construction, and our mission is to connect everyone in construction on a global platform. As I mentioned before, our commitment to construction intelligence, like how do we do this? So it is about empowering the industry to capture, manage, and learn from the data. And we do this by having a comprehensive data platform that captures this data across all project phases, and creating this rich foundation. And then following that, we manage it. We provide the tools. When I say tools, it could be anything with respect to construction, like project management, workforce, safety, security. And we give this to the users who can use this 360 reporting, one of our offerings, to create holistic views. And then we have this Procore Analytics. There's one more offering where they can step in and get actionable insights. And we don't stop there. Now we have this data. We give the data as aggregates to the users. But then we have to learn from this, and we are leveraging AI. So our insights provide frictionless, contextual information within our application. It will help you make data-driven decisions. And then we have this Copilot, our own AI-powered Copilot, which makes Procore simpler and more intuitive. You can ask questions in natural language, and it will bring out the citations and documents from your own artifacts, whatever you uploaded. And then finally, we have the agents and automation capabilities. It will just automate the redundant tasks and workflows, which will make your life easy. It's like having an experienced construction supervisor with you, which will go ahead and do the things for you. So by leveraging this comprehensive construction datasets, we help stakeholders transform data into actionable intelligence to tackle industry challenges. But what is delta sharing? How many of you are using delta sharing here in their daily work? Okay. That put a dent in my confidence that so many are using it. But yeah, I'm just joking. We have pushed delta sharing to its limits. We have the Databricks team here to confirm that. I think we are the largest user of delta share here. Pushing it to its limits. We have asked always for quota increases. Can you increase this? Can you increase that? Push it to the limit. So here, how many of you are consuming data? Are you buying data from someone you consume? Or are you selling this data to someone, producing data for someone to consume it again? The problem is, the first thing you'll notice is you get a JSON or a CSV or a Parquet from someone, and they will promise a schema, and then it'll be a number or a long or a big int, but there'll be a string in there, And you'll have this data type mismatches and this interoperability, the problem, this maze what you see, you have to do HTTP, FTP, whatever TP out there, you have to build your own consumption layer to get the data out of that. And especially when it comes to unstructured data like documents, images, files, you have these challenges already present right there. And this data silos. So whoever is giving you the data, are you relying on an external customer or whoever you're giving the data to, you're creating silos. You're creating copies of this data continuously. And when the data is constantly moving like this, first of all, it is stale. It cuts down innovation. And then it's disparate. And when you open up, you welcome security risks and governance headaches. Right? The innovation slows down. So these are all the reasons what we are presenting here, that why you should go for delta sharing. So the delta share is it's a secure data sharing protocol that enables organization to share data across different platforms and environments in an agnostic way, in seamless and efficient and governed manner. So compared to the previous image, what you saw here, what you see here is a simple Delta Lake entity, and Delta server sits in front of it, and the clients, they just feel like they are just interacting with a local data set, and still sitting on Parquet, S3, or any block storage, but it's neat, if you notice it. So there is no more data silos, and it feels like local and integrated engineers who are just trying to adopt this will adopt it pretty easily. Super efficient, you share the data in place, so you don't have copies, you don't have to ship it somewhere into another using a protocol, So it's an open protocol for data. And finally, you are in control. You have a centralized access management, which means that you have precise control, you can cut off the connections, you can effectively hold the keys to your data, so it's secure. So from construction standpoint, by using the delta sharing, these are the advantages what we feel that we have to share with the world. It's like a USB-C, now every entity is having that. So it's a master adapter for all project systems. It's cost effective, that you're not copying data, GBs, TBs of data, and sharing it again and again to your consumers. Just keep it in one place, they come, read, you control the row level permissions even. And then it's near real time, based upon how you design a system, it's near real time. And you can share any type. So it is not just tables. It could be unstructured data, it could be images, it could be volumes, sometimes even AI models. And it's governed and secure. You always know who's accessing, like I said before. And it's open standard. I don't think we have ever seen an open standard established, last 2 decades fail, like OpenAPI spec, GraphQL, and all these open standards, they have just built for long haul. Delta sharing is such an open standard. And ultimately, delta sharing transforms siloed data into collaborative project resources. It's empowering every stakeholder. I will now just hand it over to Vishnu. He's the one who implemented the entire system in our company. Let us go and explain.
Thank you, Vinod. Can you hear me? Good afternoon, everyone. I will dive into the practical ways we are leveraging delta sharing in construction, a domain that generates a massive amount of data on a daily basis. And then we will take a look at high-level reference system architecture, which illustrates how delta sharing integrates within our broader Procore platform. And finally, we will go through some key things to consider while implementing delta sharing, and then a customer success story that really brings the impact of this work into life. So let's kick things off with a challenge I think most of us are familiar with, data silos. In construction, valuable data often scattered across multiple platforms, regions, and teams, making it hard to generate insights out of it. For example, if the data collected from the field is not connected with the financial system, that disconnect can hide the financial risks. Our solution, built on top of Databricks lakehouse and delta sharing, aims to break down these silos. The goal, to elevate the data maturity across the construction industry by creating a connected, insight-ready environment. So let's start with structured sharing. So here we are talking about clean, organized tabular data, the kind of data that drives day-to-day operations in construction. So we are sharing these structured data at various granular levels with our customers, like schemas, views, tables, and even at specific partition levels. That means our customers have super fine-grained control over what gets shared. For example, a general contractor may want to share the project progress with the owner of the building, but they want to keep their own financials private. Or they may want to share the data with the trade partners, which is in their scope of work. So these kind of sharing or access pattern, we were able to achieve using delta sharing. So this also means that the data, whoever needs the data have access to it instead of being stuck in silos. And we are sharing these data as an entire data set as well as in an incremental approach. When I say incremental approach, our tables are enabled with a changed data feed property. So for the recipients, they can either consume the whole data set, or if the table is like having millions of records, they can consume like what's changed since the last update instead of consuming the whole data set. The result is more efficient, less resources, and faster performance. Moving on to unstructured data, think about PDFs, videos, documents, things like that. So these all are a huge part in construction. And we are working towards integrating them using Databricks volume sharing capabilities. This way, it's not just a number in a table we are sharing anymore. We can also attach or share the related files along with the number. So that will provide more value to it. Let's say, for example, there is a safety incident record in a table. So along with that safety incident table, if we are sharing the safety incident report or a videos or images, that gives more power to the data. And we are also working towards sharing ML models for things like predictive maintenance or defect detections. So this kind of ML model sharing, we are working towards it. So how does this all fit into the tools our customers are already using? Delta sharing supports Databricks to Databricks direct integration, and we are taking advantage of that to share within our team or within our organization, as well as with the customers who are having Databricks. So they can, even if they are in a different teams or companies or regions, they can collaborate without any hassle. When it comes to BI tools like Power BI or Tableau, delta sharing works right out of the box. No heavy lifting required. Customers can jump in, start working on it. And for advanced use cases where the customer or consumers wants to consume the data into their own data warehouse and do further processing, Databricks provides delta sharing client libraries. And we have built ready-to-use Python scripts on top of it, which we call custom connectors, so that our recipients can easily integrate that into their existing pipeline, regardless of the technical environment. And our custom connectors currently supports syncing data to various tools like SQL Server, Snowflake, BigQuery, and so on. So now we talked about, now we are sharing structured data. What exactly is that structured data? It's curated data or gold models. So our main goal is to make sure that high quality, fresh data is delivered automatically. And to pull that off, we have built everything using medallion architecture right inside Databricks. Here is how it works. So the raw events from our application database and integration events are landed at bronze layer. No changes are applied there, just a faithful copy of what's coming in. So once data arrived in bronze, next it moves to silver layer, where we transform it, clean it, validate it, and turn it into something we call confirmed dataset. Basically, usable, reliable dataset. And here, all the data quality checks takes place to make sure that data is accurate and consistent. And then we hit our gold layer, where the data gets aggregated, optimized, and fine-tuned so that it's analytics ready. So these all layers, bronze, silver, and gold, are deployed across multiple regions to make sure that we can, we can process locally and scale efficiently. Once data is available in gold, we pull that gold from across multiple regions into our primary region. We call it as analytics region. And from here, we share the data with our customers. Now, let's see how the sharing works. So for our customers, they can generate the token, delta sharing token, or if they have a Databricks workspace, they can add the identifier through our application, Procore application. Once they generate a token or add the identifier, behind the scene, we have automated jobs, which runs on schedule, periodically checks for new shares or changes in user permissions. So based on each user permission Procore system, this job makes sure that the users are seeing only the data which they are allowed to see. The entire process is like fully automated, no manual process, nothing required, no manual steps required. So by building our pipeline using the medallion architecture and sharing the data via delta sharing, we ensure that our customers always have access to fresh, trusted data so that they can make data-driven decisions with confidence. So while delta sharing provides powerful capabilities, there are some limitations to be aware of. So first, there are no native drivers for manually querying the data for the external recipients. So they have to either use APIs or client libraries to access the data. Column level filtering, like fine-grained access control specific to a column level, is not supported in a table or partition levels. So they have to use cross-view platform sharing. Predicate push-down capabilities, it is supported, but it is limited. Its effectiveness really depends on how it's implemented on both provider and the client side. And another important limitations around is volume sharing on Databricks. So currently, this functionality supports within Databricks to Databricks. So for that means any external recipients, they cannot access the shared volume. So now I'll invite our one of the customer, Bishop Brown from Wigan Constructions, to talk about how this works from their end.
Is it on? It is on. First off, Procore customers. Anybody you in the audience? Any Procore customers? One. I want to talk to you. I want to talk to you. Great. Okay. So we do a lot of different things with it. Obviously, the BI stuff is kind of what the reason that Procore Analytics existed. But we did something, I guess, kind of novel. We took our Hilti on-track data, which is our assets, the tools, the drills, the cranes, all that stuff, and merged it with the Procore data that's shared with the analytics and timesheets, which is also coming from Procore. And that's kind of the thing that made the delta sharing what's important is we got to get timesheets from a long range of time and couldn't do that from the API because it was just scraping that API over and over and over again would have been too much. So we take the data from Hilti, we take the data from Procore, and then some internal data that we have on costing, in Databricks, merge it all together to generate invoices. That is how we bill our internal tools to our customers. And that is now automated across the company. So once a month, those bills get generated without really any interaction from our staff. And that is a huge change from what it used to be, where it was all Excel-based. Every project manager had to line out all the tools that they think they have, all the cranes, all that. And then the superintendent, the guy on the field, would cross-reference it and say, yeah, no, we got rid of that one. And they would email all of those to the controller, and then she would put the bill together. And if you get an idea, like 50-plus people doing that it's ridiculous. And it was very, very, very inaccurate. So now it's very, very exact, automated. No one has to do anything. So that's how we use delta sharing. It's one of the main things, but I just wanted to brag about that.
Thank you, Bishop. All right. To wrap things up, let's take a step back and look at the bigger picture of what we have built and why it matters. So we are breaking data silos and creating a unified environment across the construction lifecycle. We are securely sharing curated structured data with precision and flexibility, and we are also working towards expanding that to include things like images, videos, and ML models so that we can support even more use cases down the line. Our fully automated pipeline ensures high quality, fresh data flows seamlessly for internally and externally. So for whether through BI tools or our custom connectors or direct integrations, our goal is enable faster data-driven decisions across the construction life system. Thank you.